Hey friends! This week on Birds of a Feather Talk Together, we welcome back ornithologist Jenna McCullough for the last chapter in our Kingfishers series. Jenna has traveled the globe in search of incredible birds, and today she's sharing stories of the kingfishers she's encountered in the wild, some in remote, hard-to-reach corners of the world. John also has his own tales of seeing kingfishers in exotic locations. It's a conversation filled with adventure and rare sightings, so we had a lot of fun doing this. Okay, let's grab our binoculars, our passport, and let's get into it.
If you do nothing but marvel at them, you've taken a medication that will lower your respiration, that will lower your blood pressure, that will lower your heart rate, that changes the stress hormones in your body. So go outside, take a look at what's outside.
It's definitely a form of meditation, that's for sure. And mindfulness. Yeah. It's just really nice to go outside and see the different birds around the world. And that is one of the reasons why I am an ornithologist, is because of you can go literally anywhere in the world and see birds. Yeah. Into caves, see oil birds. Into Antarctica, see penguins. Up to the Arctic, see puffins. My mom has seen a battler eagle when she was flying into Africa. They're moving between different points in southern Africa. She saw a battler eagle from a plane, which is a very impressive, cool-looking eagle.
So what's your best experiences with kingfishers? Where were you? Which one was it? What was it doing?
Well, I wrote a list down of some of my favorite experiences of kingfishers.
You've had more than almost anybody alive, actually.
Absolutely not, Shannon. I counted how many kingfishers that I have seen, and there's been 40 kingfishers of 118. And the only reason I have seen so many of those is because, one, I did fieldwork in the Pacific, but I specifically formulated an entire birdwatching trip for myself to go to Indonesia, where there is so many different species. So, for example, and I would like to go, so the three places that when I was trying to think of what would have the highest diversity in one area, is either New Guinea, which on the island, the continental island of New Guinea, there's 16 species of kingfisher. On the Indonesian island of Sulawesi, there are 11 kingfisher species, and a lot of those are endemic to that island. And I went to a very small portion of, in 2022, to the very tip of Sulawesi. I didn't see that many, but then there's Halmahera. So I wanted to go. This is a really weirdly shaped island in Indonesia, pretty hard to get to. And there's 10 species of kingfisher on there. And because I did a dissertation on toadyramphus kingfishers, it is important to me because there are 4 toadyramphus kingfishers that occur on that island. Actually, I think there's 5. But I went to go see there. But that's actually not my favorite kingfisher experience.
Is it a diving one? Tell me it's a diving one.
It is trying to get to one of the most difficult and remote islands. Yeah, I went to Sangi Island. So just a perspective, I lived in Albuquerque. I took a flight to LA. Then I took an LA to Singapore. Then Singapore to Bali. Then I took a flight to Manado, which is in Sulawesi. And then that's over the course of 2 days. Then I got on a ferry. It's an overnight ferry. And got to the island of Sulawesi with my friend at like 6 in the morning. The guide that we had gotten, he picked us up. We drove to another side of the island. This is a very, very tiny island that is really even hard to see on a map. It is between the Philippines and the very tip of Indonesia, or this Indonesian island, Sulawesi. It's hard to see on a map. It's really, really tiny. And so we literally drive around. And then we get there and our guide's like, all right, you have 15 minutes to change and get ready. And we did not know it was going to be a 12-hour trip. We did not have food. We had nothing. And he was like, I'll bring food. It's fine. And we're like, okay. So we have 1 bottle of water. Gosh. It starts raining. And it is a pretty steep mountain. And he's like, all right, we're going to start walking. We went up This is, again, I haven't barely slept. It's been 2.5 days since I left my home in Albuquerque and started hiking. And it turns out that he hikes this all the time. So all he brought was just a couple little snacks, including these little coffee candies. And so every 2 hours, I'm like, I don't have any food. And he's like, candy? And he gives me a candy. I'm like, okay, let's keep going.
Candy.
And he did that every hour because he knew, he's like, oh, these Americans, I'll bribe them with candy. And I wanted to see the Sanghi lilac kingfisher, which is endemic to this teeny island. And it is beautiful and is really, really, really cool looking. Satura as a genus, there's only 2 species. And they have this really beautiful lilac color and this really brilliant white dots on their face. And they are not a plunge diving kingfisher. They just look wild. So please, Satura sangurensis, Sanghi lilac kingfisher, is beautiful. And I saw one for 30 seconds up in a tree. I got one picture of it. And I was like, yes. And then it flew off. I didn't see it again. But we were able to see some other really cool birds that are also super endemic to this island. It wasn't just this one kingfisher, but I did go just to see this one kingfisher. I planned 4 days just to see this. And there is a kingfisher that is probably extinct on that island, but it's not confirmed extinct yet. So when we talk about conservation efforts and the conservation status of kingfishers, there's 35% of the 118 species that are either threatened, extinct, or threatened up to extinct. There's 2 that are extinct in the wild. One is Guam kingfisher. One is Todiramphus gertrudae, and I don't know its common name. And it is on a very small, tiny island in French Polynesia. And it probably went extinct because of introduced pests like cats and rats. But one of those is the little tiny pygmy kingfisher that is endemic to this island. It hasn't been, there's only 2 specimens of it in the world. And it is, oh my gosh, I think it's also called Ceyx sangurensis. The 2 specimens, one of them was destroyed during World War II bombing. So there's only 1 specimen left of it in the world.
Jeez.
I didn't see that. It hasn't been seen in 100 years.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so that's one of my favorites, to see that bird, because it's just the effort to see that one species. And I got, my friend got a leech on his neck. So in Indonesia, there's a lot of land leeches. So I got the experience of being like, there's a leech on your neck. And it's teeny. It was 1 centimeter long. I got to pull it off of his neck.
Nice.
And then I have one more actual one that I want to say. It was also in Indonesia. Actually, I have a lot, but one that I really remember is scaly-breasted kingfisher. And I really remember it because it was just really difficult to see. There is a theme here. So scaly-breasted kingfisher is in the genus Actinoides princeps. It is endemic to a very small portion of that island called Sulawesi. Sulawesi, if you see a map of Indonesia, you're going to be like, what is this island? It has legs and a little neck. That's Sulawesi. It looks really crazy. And it's multiple islands that came together. So there's these different regional areas of endemism in the island, which is why there's so many different species. But this species was really difficult to see because of habitat fragmentation. It's has very specific habitat preferences, and the only little bit of habitat in this area was in this really steep ravine because no one wanted to deforest that area. So for us to try to go see it, imagine really difficult. It is just there's thorns everywhere. I have this big camera being like, I'm gonna get this picture, and there's things I'm falling over. There's every time you take a step, you're falling into the leaf litter. And we looked around, and this bird would be in one spot. We'd find it. We'd get over to it. And right before I could see it, it would move across the ravine. So they crawl down to the other ravine, go down, go find it. And we did it back and forth 6 times over 3 hours. And I finally got one horrible picture of it. But I got it, and I saw it.
That's awesome.
And it just felt really good. It's sometimes when you work really hard to see a bird, then you just really remember it really well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
Of course, when I saw the kookaburra, the laughing kookaburra, it was just in a car. I had a coffee in my hand, and it was just sitting in a field. And someone was like, "That's your laughing kookaburra lifer," and I was like, "Great."
Oh.
Yeah. So, and then my last one. I recently went to Belize, and I wanted to see all the different chlorosurreal. These are plunge diving. You're going to enjoy the Shannon plunge diving kingfishers. And this is I saw the smallest the smallest kingfisher in Americas, the American pygmy kingfisher. And so it is not as tiny as something like a Sake's kingfisher. Well, I'm sorry, scratch that. It is similarly sized to a very tiny pygmy kingfisher, but it's not in the subfamily of pygmy kingfishers, just tiny.
Wait, so how small is that? Like a hummingbird?
Okay,
or-
so
wow.
for
Or like
people who are listening, John, Shannon, and
We're all
me,
we're all
we
doing the
all
hand
put
motion.
up like a little teeny,
Like
it's like
3 to
4
4
inches.
And I
all
don't
at
even
the
know. I'm just
same
mimicking what you
time.
guys are doing.
They're tiny.
Yeah.
It's like their
Yeah.
bill. Their bill is like as long as their height of their body.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That is
again, if you
Kingfisher
don't
names are hilarious too, because there's pygmy kingfisher, there's dwarf pygmy kingfishers.
Oh, wow.
So there's
Yeah.
all these like
little kingfisher,
superlatives of tiny.
and then there's the giant ones too. Yeah. No, I never even brought this up. There's 3 subfamilies of kingfishers: pygmy kingfishers, which are all tiny, water kingfishers, which are all plunge diving, and then woodland, which includes tiny species, but also includes plunge diving species.
Oh, okay.
So they're just like, woodland. That makes sense. So then there's the American pygmy kingfisher is in the water kingfisher subfamily, Cerulinae. There's 9 species, and it was tiny. So I was in Belize, and I got to see, in the same little spot, a green kingfisher on this little tiny pond, and then like I turned and looked, and there's an American pygmy kingfisher like on a little branch, and I got some really nice photos of it, and I got to look at it while it pooped, which is always fun. It's always fun to see birds poop, and like kingfishers often like flick their tail, and so it's just fun to see them move their teeny tiny tail like up and down.
Oh.
Yeah. So
They also cough up pellets, like owls do. And
another
hopefully
reason why
there's
they're
going
amazing.
to be pellets in the exhibition as well from Guam kingfishers from the zoo. So yeah, if you can't digest bones and other things like that, you just put them in a little pile and spit them out. Tell us, John, what's your favorite kingfisher story? I've only seen belted in real life.
Really?
Yeah.
You haven't
I
been
don't
to
remember.
Europe?
Yeah, but once. That's it.
Okay, sorry, I didn't
Yeah,
mean to travel shame you, Shannon.
No, that's okay.
I'm not sure I've ever
I-
seen common kingfisher.
I grew up without any money. I did not travel growing up at all. So my biggest trip growing up, and it was so memorable for me, was to go to the San Diego Zoo, and we camped all the way up and down the Pacific coast. We couldn't afford to stay in hotels. We camped. That's, all of our vacations were camping vacations until relatively recently. But yeah, we got to go into the San Diego Zoo, and it was very exciting.
It's an amazing zoo.
So, John, so I've seen things in the zoos, but not in, not
So
for real.
I'm gonna pick being on the Ruzizi River in the border between Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo, and watching like 30 or 40 African pied kingfishers just pass by in the morning as they were going out to their feeding areas, and they nest in these. They're colonial, and they actually have helpers at the nest. They've got a really neat breeding system, but they in the morning they all go out to their little feeding territories by going up the Ruzizi River out onto Lake Kivu. Incredibly cool bird.
That's the same species that I said was 2 miles off the coast of Africa, plunge diving and eating fish on the wing.
Very cool.
And they're really cool because they will hover. not all kingfishers hover before they plunge dive. So, pretty cool.
Very cool.
I love those ones.
Very cool.
Have you seen giant kingfishers, John?
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty cool too.
And where
I
was
was thinking
that?
though, that's in Central Africa. It's
Okay.
Yeah,
another.
I've only been to Senegal. So I saw it in Senegal in 2020. January 2020.
And they're big.
Yeah.
But
Do they plunge?
They do.
Yes, they do.
And
Yep.
although I was going to say, I don't think I can't remember. I don't think I've ever seen one fishing. Ring kingfisher which is the North American, the largest one in North America, and is almost as big. They're pretty amazing to watch too. But just looking at them, they look like a belted kingfisher for the most part.
Very similar shades of blue and that rufous color. Although, isn't the sexual dichromatism, like there's more rufous on the ringed kingfisher? So for belted kingfisher, if you see a belted kingfisher with rufous color on it, that's a female. And the males only are blue and white. Yeah.
So I interestingly was reading about that. Some people call that brighter, saying the females are brighter than the males. And I wasn't sure how I would characterize that, whether those reddish stripes made it more colorful.
Well, there is a third color.
Oh, it's true.
In that sense, I saw something similar that's like, it's one of the few species where the females are brighter than the males.
Yeah.
And I was
I'm
like, I think there's other ones. It's not that rare. I mean, in terms of males being brighter, yeah, but it's not so rare.
We'll have to talk about phalaropes at some point.
This could just be a bird podcast, huh? You guys talk about other things other than birds, right?
No.
No.
Not really.
It's just birds.
Right, fine.
You've been at our house, Jenna. Do we talk about anything other than birds? Hockey.
Yes.
talk about hockey.
Yes. That's why you
But-
wanted to probably call this the Ice Bird podcast, right? Right? This episode series?
Maybe
really
not.
quickly, can I know maybe you could edit this in. Can I just really quickly go through my list of fun facts about kingfishers and culture?
Oh, I
sure.
love
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because John and Shannon, you might enjoy this. I got a lot of this from this book that I just so happened to help produce in 2016. It's literally my first conference. I'm in line for coffee and I turn around and I just start talking to someone and I tell her that I am working on kingfishers for my master's. And she said, "Oh my God, I'm working on a kingfisher book and I need an evolutionary tree of kingfishers." And so I was able to give her some data with, of course, privilege or permission from my advisor. So it got to be a figure in this book. But
So
it goes into
cool.
different aspects. And so I'm not going to say that I researched all this. I read a chapter and said, wow, this is so interesting. All right, so here is my list of different fun facts of kingfishers in culture and in history. So, of course, there's Ovid's Metamorphoses, a series of epic poems where there are kingfishers involved. And so that kind of came with the names of the genera of kingfishers, including the family name Alcedinidae is from Alcyone, the female heroine of the story. But also kingfishers, both common kingfisher and pied kingfisher, are carved into stone Egyptian tombs dating back to 2000 or 2500 BC. So they're carved in Egyptian tombs. Aristotle included references to them in his History of Animals, which is fun because he got it completely wrong. So he incorrectly described the nest of kingfishers as like sea balls. And that's a quote. And like sea foam, like red, shaped like a gourd. And kingfishers do not
What does that
nest.
mean?
I don't know. He was so
Did he see
vague.
a termitarium? Did he see a termitarium?
I mean, he
That's
also
what it's
thought
called when
that
they nest in termite tree things. It's called a termitarium. So I wonder if that's what he saw.
But like sea foam? It was ridiculous. I mean, he also thought that life just popped out of grains, you know? Like, what was that? the way that he thought that life was just randomly came about. But obviously kingfishers nest in cavities, so he was pretty wrong. There is a Australian creation myth with kookaburras and the gods, an Aboriginal creation myth where the kookaburra is the morning trumpet and becomes like a hero, and so that's why he calls so early in the morning. There is a chain of islands in Indonesia called the Andaman Islands, and there are people there that had no contact with the outside world until like the 1900s, and they have a myth where a kingfisher helps bring fire to the people during a time of need. So kind of like a mischievous person where the god gets angry, he throws, a fire at the kingfisher, and the kingfisher ducks, and the fire like falls down to the ground, and then the people have fire. There is a British West Country version of Noah and the Ark in which the common kingfisher forgets to tell Noah that it found land. And when he remembers, the ark is already dismantled and turned into houses, which is why they're always near water as they're trying to find the ark. So that's kind of fun. So Pacific cultures see kingfishers as incarnations of war gods because they, are these big hunters. So the sacred kingfisher, Todiramphus sanctus, the one that has been eaten by the kookaburra, famously in this podcast. So they also are they are found in the Pacific Islands as well. And so during Cook's voyage, was it what year do you guys remember when Cook sailed the ocean, like navigated? It's like the 1500s. Yeah.
Like that.
So one of the party members of the boat shot several kingfishers, and it literally caused a degradation of tensions, or caused tensions and a degradation of relations with people in the village and the people on the boat. So don't kill kingfishers. Yeah. And then also flat-billed kingfishers, which are endemic to Samoa. During times of war and war bands, going out to war, if they would see a kingfisher flying away from them, that was a good sign that it was an omen that they're going to win that battle, because it was like going with them into battle. And if they saw a kingfisher fly towards them, that means it was an omen that they were not going to be successful. So yeah, so that's kind of where sacred kingfisher kind of comes from, at least the one where the Cook attendees were having issues with their tensions. But and then also there's other things. I mean, obviously the train, causing biomimicry of the train, but there are missiles that are also called kingfisher missiles. So the 1950s, there is a very specific missile that has kingfisher in the name. It was let's see, where was it? It is a 11.6 meter long Lockheed Kingfisher supersonic missile, part of our anti-missile system in the 1950s. Wow. Which is...
Do you know what made them name it that? What it is?
The long, tip nose of the
I just
missile.
sent you guys a picture of a termitarium with a kingfisher in it.
Cool.
It's an unbelievable picture.
What kingfisher?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
It's gotta
wow.
be gray-headed or something, right? It's one of the African
Cool.
ones. Probably.
That's
I'll
amazing.
Post that.
That is
No, that's
a
No.
collared kingfisher.
that's collared
Yeah.
kingfisher. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either that, or it could be that bill is pretty small. It's really hard to tell the size of this because
Yeah.
the flat-billed kingfisher kind of has rufous. It's kind of, you see that it's not completely white on the belly. But it is this is absolutely a Todiramphus kingfisher. But it's really difficult to identify them if you don't know which island, because so much of their identification relies on geography.
The picture probably tells tells you. I
I'm
just
sure it
looked
does.
for kingfisher and termitarium, and this is what one of the
Mm.
things. So does that look like something that Aristotle could have seen?
No, because that one does not actually occur in Europe.
That's true.
I can tell that for sure.
Fair.
Only one common kingfisher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think it looked like sea balls.
They look like sea foam.
How do you know?
Yes, like sea foam.
Good point.
Oh gosh.
Agreed.
Yeah. You know what's really funny is my first international bird conference was, well, when I traveled internationally, was the International Ornithological Congress in Vancouver in 2018. And they chose a kingfisher to put on the front of the program. Again, this is in Canada. Would you like to guess what kingfisher they chose? The person who designed this program.
Oh,
Belted,
the European
please.
one.
You'd think it would be a kingfisher that occurs in Canada, which would only be belted kingfisher, but no. They obviously just said bird and kingfisher and came up with a common kingfisher. And so literally there's 2,000 people there, and I am the only one holding up. It was on the app and the program, and I'm like, what is this? This is the only place where we shouldn't do this kind of stuff. And no one cared. So
It's a British colony.
Oh, man. Oh. True.
yeah.
Jenna, what's the name of the book that you contributed to, and who's the author?
Yes. It's called Kingfisher, and it is by Ildiko. It's written Szabo. So maybe Zabo.
Sabo.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, good.
Very cool.
All right, because she is actually the curator of the Cowan Tetrapod collection at the University of British Columbia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Idelco. Iltico. Yeah.
I've only met her one time, but wait a second. So they have all the things about the creation myth, and if you just want to know, the figure that I contributed to was this one. So
Oh, very cool.
it
Oh,
was
Is that
very
your
exciting to
artwork
be able
too?
to work.
Oh,
What?
cool.
Yeah,
Is that your
my
art?
name. Well, I made this entire figure. I made the
That's
tree.
awesome.
wow.
I found all the birds. They're all Creative Commons, but my name isn't written on there. But it's okay. I got a steak dinner out of it. Like a
People
$60
should-
steak dinner, and I was like, yes,
Yes.
finally, my work's
People
paying
should
off.
know that you are an artist. I mean, you do really nice things. So, and
People don't need to
including
know that.
interesting. yes, they do. Including
cool,
interesting
Jenna.
things like painting on rocks, which is pretty fun. So we have a rock outside of our house that every day we think of Jenna because we see it every time we come in and out of the backyard of
It's this
the
big.
house.
I made
It
it so
is.
they can't hide it.
That's awesome.
It's got a Harris's sparrow on it.
Yeah, we don't want to hide it.
Nice.
That bird is important in our lives and in
So-
our house's life.
That's awesome.
I barely have any kingfisher stuff in my house, but I do have this that I painted. It's on a
Oh,
rock.
wow.
So
Oh,
Outstanding.
now this
Oh, Jenna,
is
this is
a
incredible.
oriental dwarf kingfisher.
Wow.
Yeah.
In Indonesia.
Aw.
Sayix erythaca. I think it's in the Philippines. It's not my favorite kingfisher, but the story behind this is my friend had an actual painting of this in her house that someone gave to her, and I said, "Oh my gosh, people give stuff to you all the time. I studied this kingfisher. Can you just give me this painting?" She was like, "No." And I was like, "But you don't even really like it." And she's like, "No, I'm not going to give it to you." And so I painted this out of pettiness so I could
Good
see
for
it.
you. Good for you.
yeah.
Good for you.
John and Shannon, I just want you to know I'm now getting into embroidery. And so one of these days when I stay at
Yeah.
your house, I will repay it. And that's why they have the rock, is they let me stay at their house for a week. I got horribly sick at their house. And so then I painted a rock as a thank you for taking care of me.
Yes, keeping you alive. Wow.
But I'll embroider a bird. It'll just take like 200 hours. So yeah.
That's awesome.
But anyway, I'm really excited to go to the Field Museum. Really looking forward to it. Talking to people. And could I stay at your guys' house again?
Of course.
Thank you.
You're getting an embroidery.
Yes.
Slowly, over years, I'll finally get through it.
Embroidery takes a long
I'm waiting for her to
time.
take up the Chinese feather work.
Oh, gosh, that was
sweet.
I could embroider it. There's no way I'd be
Yeah.
able to ever get into that because that would be illegal.
What about quilt making, Jenna?
Don't say that out loud because my mom will hear it and she'll be like, my dreams have finally occurred.
She's a
If I
bird
get into
watcher
quilts.
and she likes quilt.
And also paints bird rocks and also embroiders.
Oh, cool.
Think about how cool Kingfisher quilts would be. You need to get right on that.
I'd have to learn how to sew. I don't know how to sew. I just know how to do bird taxidermy.
You could take lessons.
That's
Really
how
quick, I know this is not for the podcast. I do want to show this to you guys. I have made my own bird prep station at my house.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
at the University of Cincinnati with their Lights Out program. And so I have these birds
Oh
at my
my
house that I've been
gosh.
prepping.
Whoa.
No
So
way.
These are all Tennessee warblers. And
Whoa.
so I just set up these ones. Taking that off. Anyway, so
That's
I never thought I'd be able
impressive.
to prep birds in my house.
Oh my
And it has
gosh.
been a dream come true. So
That is seriously impressive. Jeez Louise.
thank you.
Awesome. Are those all birds that you found or?
Oh, no. The University of Cincinnati has a Lights Out program. They just
Oh,
don't
they're-
have people to prep the birds because it takes so long to
okay.
prep birds. And so I was like, I'm at the University of Kentucky. There isn't a museum. I wanted to get experience. So I reached out to them and they're like, oh, this is perfect. You could prep these birds.
That's
And now I'm going to actually help teach the curator, the collections manager, and like 4 interns how to prep birds this summer before I
So
then
cool.
leave them forever.
Oh my
So-
gosh. That's awesome. They're lucky to have you. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys probably, do we have any last things I need to say? Because I probably should get going.
I don't think so. This
That
has
was
been so
awesome.
awesome, Jenna. Thank you so much for coming
thank
on.
you so much.
Yeah.
It's been
was
really
we definitely
fun.
want to
Fun.
come meet you in person too once you get
Yes.
to Chicago. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Last week of July.
July.
Okay.
We'll look forward to
Okay,
that. That's
great.
awesome.
Awesome.
And then after that, if you're ever in LA.
Thank you everyone for listening. And thanks to Jenna for joining us on these recent episodes to talk about kingfishers. We hope everyone has a great week. Sorry this episode was a little late coming up. Sometimes life gets busy, but we're doing our best to keep these episodes coming your way, so thank you for your patience. All right, see you all next week.